Kenton County Fiscal Court meeting. Please stand for invocation and pledge from Commissioner Drought.
Pledge to. Pray with me, please. Lord, Father, we are pleased with so many blessings. First of all, to be blessed to be in this great country with all the freedoms of pertaining to it, such as the right to petition and assemble like we're doing this evening. We thank you for employees who care about the county, and we thank you for commissioners and the county judge and the assistant who care to provide good leadership for the county. We thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Amen.
Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have approval of the minutes from October the 7th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under citizens address, I don't think anyone has asked to address the court this evening. Just looking around. Under general business, we have I'm going to actually jump to first the item 2, which is our proclamation declaring October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I'm going to ask Shalane Maxwell, if you'd like to come to the microphone, then I'll read the proclamation. But welcome and thanks for coming this evening.
Hello. Thank you for sharing your time and space with us today. My name is Shalane Maxwell. I'm the Non-Residential Service Director for the ION Center for Violence Prevention, formerly known as the Women's Crisis Center. We're meeting here today to designate Domestic Violence Awareness Month as October 2025. And I'd like to share with you that Kentucky designates programs across the state to serve area development districts for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. And the ION Center is the designated dual program for the 8 counties of northern Kentucky and 5 in the Maysville region, which is Buffalo Trace. I'd like to thank you again for recognizing this proclamation that's read today and the importance of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I hope that you all understand that there are many barriers that victim survivors face and navigate on a daily basis that include not being able to remove themselves from difficult and abusive situations, finding safety, and starting over. So not only in October, but 365 days a year and 24 hours a day, the ION Center is working to take the best possible care of people that are impacted by power-based personal violence. Power-based personal violence could be domestic or dating violence, sexual violence, or stalking, and even human trafficking. So we're working every day to take the best possible care of people, and we do that by our free and confidential services. And that could be providing a 24-hour hotline, helping survivors to find emergency shelter in the middle of the night, providing support in emergency rooms in the middle of the night, and then walking side by side victim survivors as they heal. And that is a lot of intervention work. And we do great intervention work. However, we have another major role in the community, and that is education and prevention. And more people are sparking interest in learning new skills to help keep their loved ones and our communities safe. So by the ION Center offering free education, awareness, and prevention efforts, we continue to aim to educate the community about the different types of violence and how we can work together to prevent it. So the second part of our mission reads, working to reduce the number of people impacted by violence. And one of the strategies that we've implemented today is the Green Dot Bystander Violence Prevention Program, which is a nationally recognized approach. So take just a moment and think about a map of Kentucky and visualize the map of Kentucky covered in red dots. Those red dots signify any type of violence, hate speech, or misunderstanding. We want to turn those red dots green in a peaceful way. So we charge bystanders to get involved by utilizing tactics that we help train on through the Green Dot Bystander Violence Prevention Program, allowing bystanders to help de-escalate situations should they choose to get involved. And the program is so broad that it could be as simple as setting off your car alarm from inside this building to de-escalate a high-risk situation that's happening in our parking lot right now. And it's okay to not have to do anything, but please know that you don't have to do everything, but you can do something. So domestic violence awareness and education is going to continue in our community, and you're going to see a lot as we continue through Domestic Violence Awareness Month and on through 2026. So we thank you today for signing this proclamation, recognizing that there is violence and helping us combat it. So thank you for your time, and thank you for signing our proclamation.
Well, Shalane, I'll bring the proclamation down. I think the commissioners, we can come down for a photo, but I do want to just say thanks for the great work you and the entire team. I think they're from ION. And I look back now 25 years ago when Commissioner Sewell and I were in leadership together of Northern Kentucky. Our project was a playground at Welcome House. And so I can't believe it's been 25 years ago. But, unfortunately, the ION Center has to be in business. But I think the whereas at the very end of this is just by standing together for Kentucky, united against violence, we can end intimate partner violence so that all Kentuckians can live and thrive in safety and peace, which I think summarizes it well. So thank you for all your work. So you want to come down for a photo? Okay, and we're going to go back up the top with Denise Govan and Kristen Franks, who have an award to bring to us. So Denise, welcome this evening.
I'll let you hold this. Okay. Good evening. On behalf of the board, staff, and children served by the Center for DCCH Center for Children and Families, we are honored to present the Kenton County Fiscal Court the Heart Healing Support Award. This award honors a philanthropic partner whose enduring belief is in our mission and generous financial support have transformed possibilities into realities, bringing safety, healing, and hope to the children and families we serve. For many years, Kenton County Fiscal Court has been a steadfast supporter of DCCH Center, helping us to provide compassion, high-quality care to children and families impacted by the child welfare system. Through the Aging, Intellectual Disability, and Mental Health Payroll Tax Funds, Kenton County Fiscal Court has provided critical grant support for our residential programming, ensuring that children receive the stability, structure, and care that they deserve to heal. In the summer of 2023, Kenton County's Fiscal Court generosity reached a remarkable new milestone with a $500,000 grant through the COLT funds, which allowed us to complete the much-needed renovations to our 1963 residential facility. This allowed us to update our living quarters, which included completely upgrading the floors, ceiling tiles, and bathrooms to improve safety, maintenance, and overall environment for our children. These improvements are not just cosmetic, they are transformational. They reflect dignity, care, and a deep commitment to the well-being of every child who walks through the doors at DCCH Center. To Kenton County Fiscal Court, thank you for your unwavering support, your belief in our mission, and your investment in brighter futures for some of the most vulnerable children in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So it is our honor to present our award. I don't know if we want to do a
Sure.
brief
We should probably go down again. So
picture.
sure. John, John wanted some exercises. That was it.
Got the nice chair tonight.
Okay, moving on to our agenda. We have our request for approval for pay app 19 for Dugan and Myers, Joe.
It has been reviewed and deemed appropriate, so I ask for approval.
Do you want to give a quick update on the fact that we're open garage and things, while we're at it?
Sure. We started parking in the garage October 13th when substantial completion occurred. That obviously has more work to be done. They are feverishly finishing up before the actual contract date of November 16th. And I think we're on pace to do that. Your panels that you asked about will be installed on November 15th. So it's one of the last things that they're going to do. But they did block off a number of spots for the podium work that we approved at a couple meetings past. So they need to have those spots free of space so that nobody parks underneath of active work. But they plan on starting that the 19th, November 19th, and that'll go into April. In April, the podium will be done, and then shortly thereafter, the apartments will start.
Oh,
Do you want to
after
speak
April.
to, pardon, do you want to speak to the fact of construction in the front on the west side too, and when that'll wrap up?
Yes, that was dictated to us by the state, and it's really started this whole process. We're losing all the parking underneath of the underpass, the 161 spots, but we're also getting a haircut because they are moving their right-of-way into our property, and they have compensated us for that, but they have a construction easement that goes even further into our property, and we have to have everything clear of that construction easement. So that is why you see the front parking lot tore up the way it is. Once that construction easement goes back, we will be able to park, but we won't regain all the spots that we lose. We're going to lose a few spots permanently, but we do plan on reconstructing those islands a little bit further down.
So it'll be a finished product, look presentable, look nice, and the end result is, well, the parking we have available between the front lot and the parking garage will be more than we started with, which is the whole idea, without debt. So that's the good news. We have a great asset now on the back of the building, and Dugan's done a great job with it.
Oh,
So-
they're fantastic. I would highly recommend them for any job because they were so professional, so on time, very reasonable with change orders and requests. So it's been great.
Good. Well, let's keep it going. So
We
moved.
do need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Claims list, I almost said Roy. Kurt, sorry.
Damn, blast from the past.
Not that long ago.
It's been a while.
He's starting to look like Roy a little bit.
No.
Oh, boy. There's two claims lists on the agenda tonight. One was from a couple of weeks ago due to the move-in meetings, and then the one that was emailed last week.
Any questions on those? Okay, no moves, no, we don't take action there. Resolution, 25-01N, resolution for the court concerning a couple of budget adjustments. Kurt?
Yep, there's two adjustments on here for folks that have retired and just moving money between their wages line and their sick payout line. So $19,100 at dispatch and $30,250 at the jail. And then there's $350 at the animal shelter for their security services.
What was the 19,000 for?
I was at the dispatch for someone that retired.
Departure pay.
Oh, okay. So severance pay. So,
Go ahead.
yeah, that's up.
Go ahead.
We'll jointly.
We need one of you to say so moved.
Motion second, there we go.
There we go. We got that, Sue? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 25-28, regarding the court authorizing the judge executive execute an interlocal agreement with the city of Covington and regarding Navigator program using opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any other questions or comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Now,
opposed?
Is Covington
Motion-
paying for part of that?
They are. So that we've,
What percentage they paying?
they have, their full opioid money is contributing to the countywide system. So it's a true partnership where they've not tried to do it on their own. They're contributing it to the bigger picture. It's great work and very appreciated. And you'll see, by the way, you've got a flyer on your desk, I think, that shows you the
Yeah,
recap of
I
this.
brought those, and I know Officer Petaluga's going to speak about it tonight when he talks. I didn't want to steal his thunder, but I was blessed to stand in for you the other day, Judge, at the introduction of all of it. So they asked me
Great.
to bring those back for everyone, so,
I'll let you cover that here in a little bit.
yeah.
Resolution, let's see, 25-29, supporting the use of site development funds through the Northern Kentucky Port Authority to fund a life-size building space at 209 Greenup. This is a small adjustment that finishes out that, it's a 300 and some odd thousand for the
300 flat.
305?
300.
300 flat for the life-size building at 1 in KY Center.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda, we have a number of items, 14 items. If you have any questions or would like to address any of them individually.
Yeah, I move we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order 25-136, approving the appointment of Jim Kiger to the Linden Grove Cemetery Board.
So moved.
Is that the Kiger, it used to be the president or the principal of Crescent Springs?
I don't know that, John. I'm sorry. I don't believe so, but good man nonetheless.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order 25-137, approving the holiday schedule for the fiscal court.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order approving the appointment of Matthew Campbell as a police officer for the police department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order 25-139, approving the status change of Yolanda Reese for part-time to full-time public safety telecommunicator for emergency communications.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order 25-140, approving the step increase for Christina Bentley as a public service telecommunicator.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Order 25-141, accepting the resignation of Justin Kreiner as a fleet service tech for Public Works.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 25-142, accepting the resignation of Michael Glenn as a public
So
service
moved.
tech.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And order 25-143, accepting the resignation of various seasonal parks employees for Parks and Rec.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're up to administrative reporting. Mr. Steve Hensley.
Well, good evening, all. Just a couple quick updates. Last Thursday, our office, along with Public Works, Treasury, Parks Department, all met with FEMA, and we visited several of our FEMA damage locations from the damage that occurred back in April of this year. And most of their comments were very favorable. And again, Spencer and his team were out there with us. The Treasury was out there. And the FEMA people really earned their money because we took them on a walking tour around the trails on Doe Run Lake. So they thought it was beautiful, but I think they were tired by the conclusion of it. So, but there'll be more to come on that. One of the other updates I want to give, Ashley's team and our team has been working along with Boone County. As you know, we've got a joint contract for our mass notification system known as Code Red. And we went out, we did an RFP because we've been with the Code Red system for a considerable period of time. We wanted to see if there were more affordable options and wanted to see if there was better technology. Through the RFP process, it was determined that we probably are getting the best for our buck. However, they did have some upgraded projects and systems within the Code Red system that we are going to take advantage of. So we are staying with Code Red. There was a bit of confusion there. I know I've had several questions asked if we were changing vendors and those things. We are not. Our residents that are currently signed up in the Code Red system will not need to do anything currently. However, people that will be signing up as new members in the future, there will be another link and there will be another website for them to go to, just some new information to get them on the new platform. Everybody that currently exists will be able to transition from the current platform without any effort on their part. So there'll be more to come with that. Meg will be working with us to put out information to the public for the new sign up, but we are not changing from the current Code Red system. There's just some enhancements with the new system that we'll be able to bring out to our residents and we'll be able to utilize to push out information to groups and those type things. So wanted to provide that clarification. And one other thing is just kind of a thank you to the fiscal court. Our PRN employees have started a few months back. They're now into the rotation and they've been taking some on call. They're doing quite well, so thank you for your support and I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. For detention center, we have Colonel Trey Smith. Good evening.
Good evening, how are y'all?
Good,
I've
sir.
been standing in place for Mr. Fields tonight. I'll give you a quick update. Last time I reported, we had a in-house academy going, and they have recently graduated. I want to thank Mr. Shriver for showing up and swearing all of them in. It does mean a lot to them. It means a lot to the staff. It means a lot to their family. And Mr. Shriver and Mr. Knopf come down and show their support and swearing them in, so we really do appreciate that. A couple weeks ago, we had our 3rd annual trunk or treat. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. I appreciate Meg for coming out and taking pictures. I'm not sure how many people we had, but it was a lot. I know Life Learning Center was present, and they grilled 500 hot dogs, and those 500 hot dogs were gone within about half the night. So I just wanted to say thank you to the local PDs. I believe we had 7 police departments that volunteered, our Northern Kentucky SWAT team, as I mentioned, Life Learning Center, the animal shelter participated, Kenton County Parks and Recreation, Sun Behavioral, Crossroads Treatment, and I apologize if I missed some, but those are just some of the volunteers we had that come. And shout out to Lieutenant Kaiser for putting on that event. She does a lot of hard work leading up to that. Everything else at the jail is going pretty good. I just want to announce that we are fully staffed.
You need to say that really slow. And how long has it been since you were fully staffed?
The first time in my 17 years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, first time ever we're fully staffed.
Longer than
and that's even with losing Patty Reuter. She's retiring. Her last day is Friday. Miss Patty has been with the county for 24 years. Miss Patty, when I started, she was down at the court team. She was part of our court transport services, and now she's our sanitation deputy. And the reason our facility stays so clean and so nice is because of her, and she is going to be missed. And I wish her the best of luck. And we'll be having a retirement ceremony thing for her next Friday down out at the detention center. So other than that, like I said, everything's going good. We are fully staffed. Population is currently 620. We have 508 males, 112 females, 400 of them being county, 95 being state, and 98 being those immigration detainees, and 3 federal detainees. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Great report, and congratulations to you and the jailer on really where it is today. That's fantastic.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
By the way, I have to call out one other point there, Trey, is the fact, when you're staffed right, the team doesn't get overworked, and that we don't have the overtime. So it's something I know it's taken a long time. So just to point that out, that's a huge step. So thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Ashley Hawks, Emergency Communications.
Good evening. To quickly touch on Steve's remarks about the new upgraded Code Red, the biggest thing that I would like to leave you with in regards to our upgrade is that the notification process on behalf of the dispatchers and the people in the field who'll be sending those notifications has become way more streamlined, which is going to save minutes when we get into sending out these emergency notifications. So by upgrading to something that we already had, they're already familiar with the system, but it's going to shave down those minutes when we're trying to get out that important information to our citizens in Kenton County. And then I believe a few months ago I had mentioned that the legislation around part-time dispatcher training had changed and that they were going to be required to take a 8-week course through the Department of Criminal Justice Training in order to maintain their employment status with dispatch centers. So we have had our first graduate of the telecommunications overview training. Eric Matheny is one of our long-term part-timers that we have, so he has successfully completed that 8-week training. So that has given him a certification in the state of Kentucky as a certified part-time telecommunicator. And the benefit to that is that now he'll be eligible for recurring in-service training annually, and as well as if he ever decided to go full-time, he would have a very truncated academy at the Department of Criminal Justice Training in Richmond. So once he has now gotten that certification, all of our dispatchers are certified telecommunicators in the state of Kentucky, including all of our part-timers.
That's great.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Captain Pitaluga, welcome this evening.
Hello, good evening. As you already know, I was asked to talk about the Law Enforcement Navigator Program, which I'm happy to say is up and running now, and they're already having a lot of success. As of today, they have 27 cases, which is double from when we had the kickoff a couple weeks ago. And when I say 27 cases, that's 27 people they're now engaged with and trying to get them connected to services to help improve these people's lives. We had the kickoff 2 weeks ago. I think it was a huge success. We got a lot of positive feedback from that. We got 2 cities who hadn't joined yet after the kickoff approached and asked to participate in this program. And my understanding is that's in the works now to get them their opiate funds signed over and get the interlocal agreement going. And with the kickoff and the 27 cases, I want to give credit to the 4 ladies we've hired as our navigators. I was concerned when we were getting this program growing that it was so ground level and there was so much to do to get it going that they would be overwhelmed and intimidated by it. But really the 4 of them hit the ground running. Mike Richmond's hit the ground running. Every day they've been out interacting with community partners, networking, finding resources, coming up with ideas that I never even heard of in 18 years in law enforcement of how to get people connected to things. This week they're in crisis intervention training, which is a law enforcement course, but we were able to get them to participate in it, so they're doing that this week. And they've been tremendous, and they're already serving the community and helping a lot of people, and I think this program is going to do great things. And I know Commissioner Sewell was at the kickoff as well as Joe Shriver, so if there's anything they wanted to add.
Just that this guy's very humble because this is the only program operating like this in the state. And as I understand, you were the one that actually put it together, wrote all the, just all the down and dirty to it all. And so just give this guy credit because it wouldn't be happening, I think, if we didn't have someone that was like the captain who really took an interest in digging deeply into how to make it work. And that's why we're hitting the ground running. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that, but it really has been a team effort. I don't want to, Mike Richmond has been fantastic in getting it going too. He's working with them every day and getting them going. But
How many navigators do we have?
we have 4 navigators right now, and we've divided them up where each navigator is the primary contact for a couple of different cities, so that way they can build the relationships with the personnel of that city.
Is their background in social work or?
All kinds.
Yes, they have a variety of background. They all typically have some social work background, cabinet background, nursing background. They all bring different experiences to the table, which I think is part of what's making them such an effective team. And I believe if you have this packet, it's got some of the information about the navigators in it as well.
And you know, Chris, before we let you off here, you know, part of obviously the Office of Drug Control Policy, Mike Richmond, Life Learning Center, the other resources, of course, even getting them to people, place like Sun, if not, you necessarily go to the emergency room or whatever. But the part of it that supports the police department, the officers, so the officers speak a little bit about that, because prior to these navigators being in their roles, which are funded by opioid dollars, by the way, that what would have happened and how they're helping. That's an important part for the public.
Part of the problem is there's always been kind of a gap between law enforcement and mental health and drug needs, where our options become limited in what we can do when we encounter mentally ill subjects or people with opiate addictions. Our officers a lot of times don't know what resources are available or where to go. I mean, our go-to is usually referring them to the cabinet, and if the cabinet comes back and says, well, they don't meet criteria, then that's kind of the end of the road for getting them the help. I'll give kind of a story. We talked a little bit about the kickoff. There's an elderly gentleman who is having some mental health issues. He's living by himself. He didn't have power anymore. He's cooking on a stove inside his house, a gas-powered stove. The navigators got involved with him. We're actually bringing him food. Was getting some adult protective services involved. Initially, they declined providing services to him. The navigators worked with adult protective services, and they ended up accepting his case, which initially, if it wasn't for them, would have been denied. And then they did a follow-up. If you remember, a couple weeks ago when it was really rainy for a couple of days, they did a follow-up bringing him more food that was donated, and they actually found him laying outside in the rain underneath his trash can. Wasn't sure where he was, wasn't able to answer some basic questions about like who's the president, what year is it, things like that. He'd probably been laying there for several hours in the rain, and if the navigators had not been going to do a follow-up check on him and make sure he had the resources he had, that could have ended very poorly for that gentleman. Unfortunately, now he's getting resources. They're working with adult protective services and some family to get him in better support. And those are kind of the voids that law enforcement can't fill, but the navigators can. And they've met with, almost every day they had meetings with some community partner, the ION Center, Life Learning Center, Journey, I mean, programs I hadn't even heard of, where they were building these connections and saying, okay, if we reach out to you, what can you provide for people? They got a couple beds dedicated for the law enforcement navigators in the homeless shelter, which will, and if they refer them into those beds, it'll actually get them a more direct line through the Life Learning Center, through the work program. So they're doing so many things we could talk for hours probably.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, and the beauty is it's not replacing policing, it's integrating the two and just enhancing all the services that we currently have. So as you mentioned, Judge, there's the enhanced response, as you mentioned, lowering overdoses, reducing incarceration, just helping folks re-enter the job market, all kinds of things that they're touching that you guys can move on and do more other things that are equally but also important.
Yeah, but the partnership with the Life Learning Center has been very beneficial for the program as well.
You bet. Good stuff. Any other questions? Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, we're going to move on to County Administrator's Report.
I'm going to actually reserve my time for executive session.
Okay.
So.
Commissioner Sewell.
I was going to mention two things tonight, but I appreciate we took care of that one. But the other thing I wanted to say is I just wanted to officially declare tonight that it's my intention to seek re-election for County Commissioner in 2026. It's hard to believe that it's that time again, but I just wanted to make it official here tonight. 4-year terms go by quicker and quicker, and I think that's because this guy keeps us so busy. We've had such a remarkable run over the last several terms, just trying to do the best and the right things as we represent our citizens here in Kenton County. And I can't say how much it has meant to me to have served with such great folks as Dr. Dowd, Commissioner Nienaber, who wasn't able to be here tonight, who's recovering, and we pray for him, and yourself, Judge, and you, Stacy, and just everyone that's in this room and not in this room tonight that are elected officials in this county, and of course, our wonderful staff, the cooperation, the maturity, and the sort of just a citizen-first attitude has made, I think, it an absolute pleasure to just be a part of this community and this team. As many of you know, I'm just going to do a quick PSA here. We did a redistricting process just recently, and it redrew the lines of our districts in Kenton County. Like I said, just a little PSA. I had the pleasure of teaching this topic at Stacy's government class several times, and I'd get lots of strange looks and many questions. But for those who might wish to run for county government or for the voters, Kenton County has a commission form of government. And for many folks that, that just kind of blows over their head, which constitutionally requires that county commissioners live in one of the 3 districts, but we must run countywide and we must represent countywide. So I just want to reemphasize that for those that are voting and those who are considering running. The new districts were approved and adjusted for population changes and in a response to the citizens in Incorporated County who really wanted a representative to live in their part of the county. So in accomplishing those needs, District 1 and all the districts, of course, were redrawn, but Commissioner Nienaber and I both ended up in the same district. And at this point, I talked to Joe today. I said, I'm going to say this tonight, so I hope it's okay to be official, has declared that he won't be seeking re-election. So I will be filing next week, but again, seeking the support of the voters across Kenton County and seeking to represent you all well. So thank you for the opportunity to serve. Over the past several years, it's just been one of the greatest honors of my life. And if anyone wants to look up the map, Gabe Summey said go to her website, of the Kenton County Clerk's site, and check out all the redrawing of the districts. And that's it. It's done.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you for doing that. I'm relieved now, Commissioner, so that's good.
That's official.
Commissioner Drought, we're going to let you have a report.
I don't have any announcement at all tonight.
Okay, good.
But,
No, not the announcement, I'm just saying report.
But I do, I was remiss in the prayer and thanking God for Joe's recovery.
Yep.
And I talked to him today, and I think Beth did too, and so did Joe. I don't know, you probably did too.
By tech, yeah.
He's doing great, and after a very complex operation, so thankful for that, and that's all I have.
Very good. County Attorney's report. I missed over you before, I apologize. Okay. Well, and I will just end on this one. I truly appreciate you staying back and serving again, Beth, and you're exactly right that I think where we are as a county today is just so much further along than we were, a few terms ago. And it is because we said this at the Employee Appreciation Dinner, I think Friday, but it's the people in this room and who are not in this room who've really elevated Kenton County to be such a leading group across the region. And I'm just so proud of everybody's work, and it's exciting to see operationally, functionally, financially, this team continues to do what they're doing with your all support. So, and I did want to point out too, and because I think it's some people don't realize on the district thing, is when we redistricted by population, because we have to do it, we really finally, for the first time ever, have more of a northern strip of a district, a center district, and a southern district, so that the numbers don't really work out. It's not 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 3, 2. Confusing, but everything else was perfect about it, I think, because it really did kind of get across the river, including Park Hills, Fort Wright, which allowed that to be Fort Mitchell, more of the urban, and along the Dixie corridor a little bit, then suburban, and then Taylor Mill or south of 275 kind of thing. So I think it's important that it makes sense. I know that I'm sure dispatch loved us cutting up the districts, didn't you? Did that matter to you guys? But some of the cities were even cut up a little bit, but I think it makes more sense for the representatives and where they're living. So it was good work.
I've said this other times, but as most of you know, I've been a part of a lot of political organizations and political jobs, but this has been the most productive court, most productive organization, really, that I've been a part of. And I think probably, from my perspective, of course, I'm not a historian of Kenton County like Will Turworth is, but from my perspective, it's probably been the best fiscal court in the history of Kenton County. And Beth deserves a lot of the credit. for that, and she's done a great job, and I'm glad she's rerunning, and I'm sure she'll continue to be a good asset to this court.
Indeed. Well said. And we do have a reason for executive session. So
I'll
pursuant.
move we go into executive session.
We will, pursuant to KRS 61.8101F, discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, and we do need to go into that executive session.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in executive session. We'll be coming back to this room.
We'll be coming back to take action.
Yep. But you can stay. We're going in the other room.
now.
Approval of a termination of Uni Kirst effective August 22nd, 2025.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Motion second. Any other question or comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and then we just need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Everybody have a good night. Thanks.
Stacy, I'm gonna call you.